welcome to another edition of Reading with Rockfish. It's me, SL Rockfish. So happy to see you today. Whew, it's a little hot today. It's summer, and if you hear a fan in the background, that's my fan. You want to see? It's so hot in here. This is where it's right now, it's early in the morning, and it's already 90 degrees up here. I know, crazy. But this is the best place for me to film. So, I'm going to be a little warm. You're going to hear a little fan in the background. You want to see the fan? Here. Don't lie in the messy room. See, there's the fan. Whoop, there's the fan. Oh, there's some props. Dr. Seuss. Little prop there. Okay. Whoa, that was the quick tour of the place where the magic happens. Well, maybe not magic, but at least I get to, this is where I keep everything. So welcome, thanks for joining me. It's me, SL Rockfish. So happy you could be here today. Today, we're going to be looking at another Dr. Seuss book. And you know what? How many of you have trouble, or how many of you really like to sleep? I know, some people can sleep. I can sleep anywhere. If we turn on a car and we're going on a trip, that's me. Hopefully I'm not driving when I fall asleep. But get in a plane as soon as I hear we're preparing for takeoff, and the engines start, and I just try to read a book or do something, and I'm like, but apparently sleep is hard for some people to get. And there's many books written about sleep, how to get a good night's sleep, what you should do with a good night's sleep, how our devices like our phones and our iPads and our screens are killing our sleep. But Dr. Seuss, way ahead of his time. This book was from 1962. It's the Dr. Seuss's sleep book. If you can't trust Dr. Seuss, who can you trust? So, let's read from Dr. Seuss, published in 1962. Still older than me. All right. The news just came in from the county of Keck that a very small bug by the name of Van Vleck is yawning so wide you can look down his neck. Have you ever done that in class or in a meeting or parents while someone's talking? You can look down their neck. This may not seem very important, I know, but it is, so I'm bothering to telling you so. A yawn is quite catching, you see, like a cough. It just takes one yawn to start other yawns off. Now the news has come in that some friends of Van Vleck's are yawning so wide you can look down their necks. Have you ever noticed that? One person yawns and then everybody's yawning. Especially in church. You're looking around and you're trying to pay attention. Somebody yawns. Oh, now, are you going to yawn? See, it happens. At this moment right now, under 7 more noses, great yawns are in blossom. They're blooming like roses. The yawn of that one little bug is still spreading. According to latest reports, it is heading across the wide fields through the sleepy night air, across the whole country toward every whichwhere. And people are gradually starting to say, I feel rather drowsy. I've had quite a day. Listen to that. That's my neighbor cutting their grass. I can't shut the windows because it's hot. She's going to need a nap. Creatures are starting to think about rest. 2 biffer-bomb birds are now building their nest. They do it each night, and quite often I wonder, how do they do this big job without making a blunder? But that is their problem, not yours and not mine. The point is they're going to bed, and that's fine. There they go. Sleep thoughts are spreading throughout the whole land. The time for night brushing of teeth is at hand. Up at Herkheimer Falls, where the great river rushes and crashes down crags in great gargling gushes, the Herkheimer sisters are using their brushes. Those falls are just grand for toothbrushing beneath if you happen to be up that way with your teeth. Huh. That's hard to say. Dr. Seuss, man, he can do it. The news just came in from the castle of Krupp that the lights are all out and the drawbridge is up. Oh no, the drawbridge is up. And the old drawbridge drawer just said with a yawn, my drawbridge is drawn and is going to stay drawn. Drawn rhymes with yawn. till the milkman delivers the milk about dawn. I'm going to bed now, so nobody better come round with a special delivery letter. The number of sleepers is steadily growing. Bed is where more and more people are going. In Culpeper Springs, in the Stiltwalkers' Hall, the Stiltwalkers' stilts are stacked on the wall. The Stiltwalkers' walkers have called it a day. They're all tuckered out and they're snoozing away. This is very big news. It's important to know. And that's why I'm bothering telling you so. I love sleep. Way out in the west in the town of Merced, the Hinklehorn Honking Club just went to bed. That must be the Hinklehorn Honking Club. Wait. The Hinklehorn Honking Club. Every horn has been quietly hung on a hook for the night in its own private Hinklehorn nook. All this long happy day they've been honking about, and the Hinklehorn honkers have honked themselves out. Don't you hate when you honk yourself out? But they'll wake up quite fresh in the morning, and then they'll start in the Hinklehorn honking again. Everywhere, creatures are falling asleep. The collapsible frink just collapsed in a heap, and by adding the frink to the others before, I'm able to give you the Who's Asleep store. Whew, the Who's Asleep store? What? Right now, there are 40,404 creatures are happily, deeply in slumber. I think you'll agree that's a whopping fine number. That is a whopping fine number. Counting up sleepers, just how do we do it? Really quite simple. There's nothing much to it. We find out how many, we learn the amount by Andiotelio-Talio count. That's the Andiotelio-Talio count. I said that without stuttering. On a mountain halfway between Reno and Rome, we have a machine in a plexiglass dome, which listens and looks into everyone's home, and whenever it sees a new sleeper go flop, it jiggles and lets a new biggle ball drop. Our chap counts these balls as they plop in a cup, and that's how we know who is down and who's up. Woo! Check it out. Bum bum. That's quite a machine. I don't think it really happens. Do you talk in your sleep? Sometimes I do. It's a wonderful sport, and I have some news of this sport to report. The world champion sleep talkers Joe and Mo Redzoff have just gone to sleep, and they're talking their heads off. For 55 years now, each chattering brother has babbled and gabbled all night to the other. They've talked about laws, and they've talked about gauze, and they've talked about paws, and they've talked about flaws. They've talked quite a lot about old Santa Claus, and the reason I'm telling you this is because... Why? You should take up this sport. It is fine for the jaws. Unless your mom and dad tell you to go to bed, then don't do it. Do you walk in your sleep? I don't. Do you? I just had a report of some interesting news of this popular sport. Near Finnegan Fen, there's a sleepwalking group, which not only walks, but it walks a la hoop. A la hoop? Yeah. Every night they go miles while they walk to such length. They have to keep eating to keep up their strength. Look at them walking. They have candles on their head. So every so often one puts down his hoop, stops hooping, and does some quick snooping for soup. That's why they are known as the Hoop Soup Snoop Group. Say that fast. Okay, I will. The Hoop Soup Snoop Group. Okay. Sleepwalking too are the curious Crandalls who sleepwalk on hills with assorted sized candles. Oh, these are the Grandals. Okay. The Crandalls. The Crandalls walk nightly in slumbering peace in spite of slight burns from the hot dripping grease. The Crandalls wear candles because they walk far, and if they wake up, want to see where they are. Don't sleepwalk. Don't do it. Okay? Now the news has arrived from the Valley of Vale that Chippendale Mupp has bitten his tail. And he does every night before shutting his eyes. Such nipping sounds silly, but really it's wise. How is it wise to nip his tail? I don't know. He has no alarm clock, so this is the way he makes sure that he'll wake at the right time of day. His tail is so long he won't feel any pain till the nip hits the makes the trip and gets up to his brain. In exactly 8 hours, the Chippendale Mupp will at last feel the bite and yell, ouch, and wake up. Whoa, that's a long tail. He doesn't feel it for 8 hours. There's a little trivia question. Mr. and Mrs. J. Carmichael Crocs have just gone to bed near the town of Fort Knox. And they, by the way, have the finest of clocks. Check that clock out. Ta-da! Why is their clock so fine? I'm not at all sure that I quite understand just how the thing works with that one extra hand, but I do know this clock does one very slick trick. It doesn't tick-tock. How it goes is tock-tick. That's hard to say. So, with ticks in the tocker and tocks in the ticker, it saves lots of time and the sleepers sleep quicker. How does Dr. Seuss think of that? What a fine night for sleeping. From all that I hear, it's the best night for sleeping in many a year. They're even asleep in the Zweiback Motel, and people don't usually sleep there too well. I wonder why. The beds are like rocks, and as everyone knows, the sheets are too short and they won't cover your toes. So, if people are actually sleeping in there, it's a great night for sleeping. It must be in the air. Well, I'm not sleeping there because I like to sleep. Dun, dun, dun. Let's see. Well, my page is stuck because the humidity's here. It's really quite hot, and I really do fear that I'm going to overheat. But I won't. So here we go. It's a great night for snores. I just had to report of some boys who are tops in the musical sport. The snortiest snorers in all our fair land are Snorter McPhail and his Snore a Snort band. I could do a Snore a Snort band because I do snore a lot. That's why I sleep alone. Because people are like, wake up. So I get my own room. The snortiest snorers in all of our fair land are Snorter McPhail and his Snore a Snort band. This band can snore Dixie and Old Swanee River so loud it would make 40 elephants shiver. The loudest of all the boys is McPhail. He snores with his head in a 3-gallon pail. How does he do that? So they snore in a cave 20 miles out of town. If they snored closer in, they would snore the town down. Ooh, that's loud. I thought I was loud. Do you know who's asleep? Out in Funa Laguna? Two very nice Funa Laguna Babuna. Funa Laguna Babuna. Funa Laguna Babuna. Funa Laguna Babuna. You can make a song. We've added them into our Who's Asleep count, which has grown to a really amazing amount. Exactly 8,808 creatures are sleeping now. Isn't that great? I dare you to count all those. Maybe they're all in there. A Jed is in bed, and the Jed of a Jed, and the bed of a Jed is the softest of beds in the world, it is said. He makes it from pom-poms he grows on his head, and he's sleeping right now on the softest of fluff. Oh, that's the Jed. That's not the sleepers. Okay, on the softest of fluff, completely exhausted from growing the stuff. Well, he's got to grow all that. Look at how soft it is. It kind of has the outline of a bear. I would sleep on that. The news has come in from the district of Doft that two oft are asleep and they're sleeping aloft. And how are they able to sleep off the ground? I'll tell you. I weighed one last week and I found that an oft is so light he weighs -1 pound. A moose is asleep. A goose is asleep. A moose is asleep. Sorry. He is dreaming of moose drinks. A goose is asleep. He is dreaming of goose drinks. That's well and good when a moose dreams of moose juice, and nothing goes wrong when a goose dreams of goose juice. But it isn't too good when a moose and a goose start dreaming they're drinking the other one's juice. No kidding. Don't drink of other people's juice. Moose juice, not goose juice, is juice for a moose. Whew, my tongue hurts. Let's say that one again. Moose juice, not goose juice, is juice for a moose. And goose juice, not moose juice, is juice for a goose. So when goose gets a mouthful of juices of mooses, and moose gets a mouthful of juices of gooses, they always fall out of their bed screaming screams. So I'm warning you now, never drink in your dreams. Well, that's a good, though, that's word to the wise. Speaking of dreaming, I think you should know that the Bumble Tub Club is now dreaming afloat. Every night they go dreaming down Bumble Tub Creek, except for one night every third or fourth week, when they stop for repairs because their Bumble tubs leak. But tonight they're aloft, full of dreams, full of bliss, and that's why I'm bothering telling you this. Whoa, I like this page right here because it's got all sorts of verb and vowel sounds. Verb and vowel sounds. All sorts of vowel sounds and phonics. You should practice that one. I know, if you're still with me, because we're at 15 minutes, so I'm sure I lost a lot of people, but I hope you're still with me. If you are, yay you. Find your favorite Dr. Seuss. At the fork of a road on the Vale of Vode, 5 foot-weary salesmen have laid down their land. All day they've raced around in the heat at top speeds, unsuccessfully trying to sell Zizzurzuff seeds, which nobody wants because nobody needs. Tomorrow will come, they'll go back to their chore, they'll start on the road Zizzurzuffing once more. But tonight they've forgotten their feet are so sore, and that's what the wonderful nighttime is for. Everywhere, creatures have shut off their voices. They've all gone to bed in the beds of their choices. They're sleeping in bushes, they're sleeping in crannies, some on their stomachs and some on their fannies. That's a good word, fannies. Another word for butt. They're peacefully sleeping in comfortable holes, some even on soft-tutted barbershop poles. The number of sleepers is now past the millions. The number of sleepers is now in the billions. They're sleeping on steps and on strings and on floors, in mailboxes, ships, and the keyholes of doors. Every worm on a fishhook is safe for the night. Every fish in the sea is too sleepy to bite. Every whale in the ocean has turned off his spout. Every light between here and the farfoodle is out. And now, adding things up, we are way beyond billions. Our Who's Asleep score is now up in the zillions. The zillions! 99 zillions, 9 trillion, and 2 creatures are sleeping. So, how about you? They're all sleeping. I hope you're still awake to the end of the book. If you are, kudos. That's it. When you put out your light, then the number will be 99 zillion, 9 trillion, and 3. Wow. That's a long book. But I love the artwork. Okay? Check out all these. I mean, the imagination of Dr. Seuss and the art that he creates. Mind-blowing. I love the Seuss. I love the way he makes up words. You could try making your own story if you would like. Or if you want to practice your fluency, you can even just practice with this. When you put out your light, then the number will be 99 zillion, 9 trillion, and 3. Good night. That would be fun to spell. Good night. There's so many pages on here that you could just practice your fluency. Okay? Or you could just enjoy a good book, rewind, watch it, or look for it in the library. I love the library. Well, if they ever open so we can browse again. But I think you can order online. So, that's Dr. Seuss. I never knew he had a sleep book. See, I learned something new. Again, when I bought this at the... There it is. When I bought this at the rummage sale, it was like $2. $2. I got the best deal ever. So if you need a Dr. Seuss book, or you want to rewind and watch it again, Dr. Seuss' lesser known work about sleep. Now, I hope you enjoyed this story, and I hope you're still here with me. If you are, have a great day, rest of your day. Enjoy life. Get out and do something. Get a good night's sleep. Have some fun. Be safe wherever you are. Wear a mask if you go out in public. You know, don't be foolish. Don't cough on people. Don't get too close. Let's all take care so then sooner rather than later we can all go outside and get this coronavirus taken care of. Okay? Hope to see you soon, my friend. Peace. Be kind to one another. Peace. Thank you.